Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Um, got a few things that I want to discuss, but it's Friday. I mean, any day I can talk about anything I want to talk about, but it's Friday, and I'll maybe touch on some things that we talked about earlier. As you come in, just say hi. Come in and just say hi. As you make your way into the room, come in and say hi to me. Make me feel welcome in my own room, whatever that means. Um, yeah, come on in. Just say hi. Come on in and just say hi. See the numbers are going up. Robert, sup, Robert? How you doing? Come on in. Just say hi to me. Say hi to me, and then just sit back and relax. Of course, you can comment throughout the show if you like. I do want to say again, I'm working on by the end of the month, which it's not that long. By the end of the month, I'll be able to take calls. Ben Bowdachek Jones, good afternoon. Brenda Hola, she's from La Grande. That's funny. Um, Robert says, okay, how about you? I'm doing good. Anthony, good afternoon, Anthony. Good afternoon, Timothy. Good afternoon, Maria. Good afternoon, Carol. Not much. Not much. Hello. Do my texts come through? When you say your text, are you talking about the messages that you're sending? I know I saw it. Tria, Michael. Oh, that's Mike Ballard. Jack, Brent, Marquita, Veronica. I'm not even gonna say it, but I want to say it, Veronica. I want to say it, but I'm not gonna say it. Raz Freeman. Good afternoon, everybody. Come on in. As you come in, just say good afternoon. Say what's up. Say hey, whatever. Paul. Good afternoon, Paul. Just shout out. Let me know you here. Candy D. Good afternoon. Veronica. I don't know why. And it was such a stupid song. I don't even know what the song was about. Crystal, Nat, Tanika. Good afternoon, Tanika. You in Florida still, right? You in Florida. Down there singing and such. All right. At least I believe you're still in Florida. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, give it just a couple more minutes. Want to give a couple more people opportunity to get in here. Just a couple. Jerica says, hola, Jerica. I don't know why I say hola. I know it's hola, but I like saying hola because, I speak English. Yeah, in sunny Florida, loving it. And yes, singing. All right. You can come in 15 minutes late. He say, don't forget to hold up that index finger like you used to do in the Baptist church. All right. So, Regina, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Regina. All right, y'all remember not too long ago, we talked about the Dunkin' Donuts worker. I'm sorry, it's just Dunkin' now. They changed their name. It's Dunkin'. Still Dunkin' Donuts. Who punched the old man, ended up killing him. Y'all remember that story? Yeah, he got, and I don't know how I feel about it. He was charged. Okay, it was an older white dude in the house. An older white dude in the restaurant. The older white dude called him the N-word. He punched the dude. I guess the dude hit his head and eventually died. They charged him with what did they charge him with? Felony battery. He pled guilty, and he ended up getting 2 years. 2 years of house arrest. Yeah. 2 years of house arrest. A part of me is glad about it. Like, good. He shouldn't have called him, you know, a racial slur. He should have never said that. Another part of me is like, wait a minute. You punch somebody and kill them, and you only get 2 years of house arrest? And you only get 2 years of house arrest? I don't know that feel good. Why do black folks take pleas? Almost everybody takes pleas. Almost everybody takes pleas. Without pleas, they say that the system would like grind to a halt. And if I'm charged basically with murdering somebody, it wasn't murder, but if I'm basically charged with murdering somebody, actually, I'm not 100% sure what he was initially charged with, because he might have actually been charged with a murder. What was he charged with? The actual charge, because I mean, I see what he pled to. He was originally charged with aggravated manslaughter, which carries up to 30 years in prison. But prosecutors accepted a plea deal that also includes 200 hours of community service and anger management class. I would say that's a pretty good deal if you can get it. That's a pretty good deal if you can get it. Like he got 2 years of house arrest. I mean, I would just get to sit here, chill out, and that be my punishment. So I like it. Glenn says, where is it? Glenn is glad he got off light. Glenn's glad he got off light. And again, I'm glad he got off light. I'm glad he got off light, sorta. I think about it. I think about it in this sense. If I see before I even say it, I know the words ain't the same. They don't have the same power. I get that. But if I call a white dude, you know, the H word or the C word, and he punches me and I die, I want him to get more than 2 years of probation. You know what I'm saying? You punch me, I hit my head. I want that dude to get more than 2 years of house arrest. I mean, but you really shouldn't be calling people ends. You shouldn't be calling people ends. Remember the student at CSU hit another student who fell, hit his head, and died. I believe the student went to jail. But I'm just saying it's not a bad plea deal. I think you got to look at the whole plea deal thing. And you take a chance, especially as a black person. You take a chance going to trial. Everybody does, because you never know what those people are going to decide. Those people, here is where Lewis/Gerald can jump in, talking about what happened to Judge Tracy Hunter. She could have taken a deal. But when you know you're not guilty, and then you go and you roll the dice, you take a chance. And it's difficult for black people because y'all know we don't represent the juries, and or at least we're not represented well on juries. So all of that matter. But 2 years house arrest. And I guess right now we're saying, kind of consensus wise, we are all okay with this guy, 27 years old, who punched a dude basically in the face, killing him. We are fine with him getting 2 years house arrest. Is that the consensus? I'm still a little about it. But I bet both Lewis and Gerald love them some 8 Ball and MKG. Uh, Brandy, good afternoon. Greetings. Greetings. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm all right with it, I guess. I'm all right with it. Also, Senator Lisa Murkowski, she's now conflicted. She's now conflicted on how she's going to vote. She's conflicted. What is there to be conflicted about? For the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Senator Lindsey Graham now says he's leaning towards a no vote. But he was the one who was saying, look, because the time, I guess, changes all of this stuff. The pressure that you receive from people, all of this stuff changes with time. Because initially, Lindsey Graham was like, hey, she is immensely qualified. She is what we need. There's absolutely no reason to not vote for her. Now, he's like, I'm leaning towards a no vote. Why? And now Senator Murkowski says that she's conflicted. She's conflicted. Last month, she said she would be honored to be able to support an exceptional African-American woman. Now, she says the difference is, because she's federal court. The difference is you have 9 people who sit on the highest court in the land who are there for life, and it requires a level of review and scrutiny that's in line with the position. So yeah, this is a different game because she voted to confirm her previously. She says it's a really big deal. She says, I'm serving a term for 6 years as a senior senator. I'm interviewing somebody who's going to be there for decades, and decades. This is not about me. This is about her. This is about the Supreme Court. I guess I'm going into my race pimp. And when you're a race pimp, you got to have that hand ready. So I guess I'm going into race pimp mode. Because this is a sister. That's all this is. That's all this is. And initially, they knew it would look bad if they said, no, I'm not voting for that black girl. No, I'm not voting for that black girl. Because that's the way they view her, I'm certain. Not a woman, a qualified jurist and all that kind of stuff. They view her as that black girl, I'm certain. And it would have looked bad to say, no, I'm not voting for that black girl. So they kind of all had to come out because, they were all getting asked. And they were all like, hey, she's qualified. She's one of the most qualified people in the country. Sure, she's great. Her getting confirmed shouldn't be a problem. She's amazing. She's wonderful. Now that the newness has had time, and I'm certain that they've gotten some letters and calls from those people that y'all was talking about. Was that yesterday? From some of those people that y'all was talking about yesterday. Now that they done got some calls, what people were we talking about yesterday? Y'all know, those racists, those KKK, and not the ones in Ukraine. Not the ones in Ukraine. Remember yesterday, they're racists in Ukraine. They KKK in Ukraine. They don't like black people in Ukraine. They don't treat black people fair in Ukraine. Remember that? I bet none of those Ukrainians have been calling these Republicans saying, don't vote for that black girl. They're probably saying in, but I bet that wasn't Ukrainians saying that. That was people right here in America. That was people here. Nikki says Murkowski, I cannot pronounce this lady's name. Murkowski voted for her confirmation to district court. Yeah. And she's saying, but this is different because this is the Supreme Court. So now she's got reservations. She's conflicted. Just wait until they start pulling these grifting black Republicans out the woodwork to trash Ketanji. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Trust me, there is somebody right now trying to dig up some dirt somewhere, anything. She got a distant relative somewhere who smoked a joint, and they're going to turn that person into a drug dealer. That person going to eventually be Freeway Ricky Ross. They was smoking and dealing drugs. They gonna come up with something. It's gonna probably be something very stereotypical in terms of racist tropes. But they're gonna come up with something. They're gonna come up with something. Some reason to say to America, white America, not Ukraine, they're not saying this to Ukrainians, for the people who keep saying Ukraine is racist, so we don't care about what's happening over there. There are Americans right now who are working to come up with something that they can share with Americans to make Americans say to Republicans, don't vote for that end. Her family's drug dealers. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. But, or, if they find anything, hopefully her family is like so squeaky clean that they can't find anything. They can't find anything. And then all they can do is say stuff like, what did she score on her SAT? What did she score on the LSAT? What was her grades like when she was in school? Jenna says she already divulged a criminal within her family. Oh, I didn't see that. Uh-oh. I mean, look, glad that she did it. Just glad that she did it. Those grifters are probably going to say that Ketanji is somehow related to Willie Horton, Farrakhan, or Dr. Umar Johnson. If they hire Lawrence, they would get all the dirt. I don't care what they come up with. It bothers me just a little bit, the whole marriage thing, just a little bit, but I understand. But I don't care what they come up with. I support her. And Democrats, if they do this right, they don't need any Republicans. They don't need a single one. You get 50-50. I personally think it would be good if the first Black female vice president cast the deciding vote. Excuse me. Personally, I think that would be beautiful. I mean, it would be sad that it had to come to that. But just imagine if you were the vice president. Wouldn't you love the opportunity to be the one to say, hey, yes, girl, you are now, because, that's a term of endearment. Yes, girl, you are on the Supreme Court. Why? Because I said so. Oh, I would love to have that opportunity. Man, put me up in that seat. Kamala, put me in that seat. Like, just say, you know what? I'm gonna take a minute, but we want to name the interim vice president as the king of talk, Emanuel Livingston. He gonna sit in for this vote and let it turn out 50-50. And they would never do it again. I would act a fool. I would give a big speech, hooping, preaching, the whole nine, fist in the air, everything. I would do it all. And at the end, I would tell her, hey, because I said so. I speak for my people. And because we said so, you are Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Jackson Brown, or Brown Jackson. I always get the last two names mixed up. I wouldn't get them mixed up that day. I would have it written down so that I wouldn't forget it. I would make a big deal of it. You are the people's Supreme Court Justice. It would be appropriate that a Black woman put the stamp on her nomination while watching the Republican cult lose their mind. Yeah, because they would go crazy. They would go bonkers. It would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. I would start humming Lift Every Voice and Sing while I'm flipping through the papers before I begin the session. Yep. Every Black thing I could think of what happened while I gave my speech. Every Black thing I could think of. I really do. I think it would be a beautiful thing. I think it would be a beautiful thing. They will find out you killed some animals. That will disqualify you. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. You can kill animals and sit in as the Vice President of the United States. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Linda says, good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Brent says, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Thank you, Brent. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, or, if you're on YouTube, or however all these other platforms notify you when I come on. Get your notifications. Get your notifications ready. In Cincinnati, here locally, police say a man was found dead after being shot in the street in Bond.
This is a photo Tile Kim made on Shutterfly of Benny's little ladder fiasco. She loves this photo because despite all this chaos, Benny turned out all right. Aside from that slight ladder phobia, when reliving the moment is better than living it, make it a thing with Shutterfly.
I always forget to turn off the speakers. Sorry about this, y'all.
In Bond Hill.
This is my lack of
specifically on Laid Live, and excuse me,
staff.
Just down the street from.
As you can see, they're not in. It's my lack of staff. But yeah, they found a person dead, a body in the street in Bond Hill. And when are we gonna do something? I mean, I know we talk about this all the time. And it's never too much to talk about. It's never like, oh, we done talked about this before. Did I get that money you sent on my Cash App? No, I did not, because you don't know my Cash App. Your staff never working. You saw them working just the other day, but I mean, I'm in here like everyone. If they got some emergency stuff going on, then you might see them behind me doing some stuff, but no. Why are monitors 5, 12, and 14 showing the same Asian? They're editing a piece. They're getting a piece ready. And, they got to keep going back to it. Let's see. Glenn says, as far as the light sentence for punching racist dude, it's like the OJ theory. It's about time we got off on some stuff that they used to get away with. All right. Okay. I understand it. I'm just not exceptionally comfortable with it. But I'm not protesting it in any way, shape, or form. Killing in broad daylight. Yeah. And I don't have no answers. Every time we talk about this, I say the same thing. I don't have any answers for any immediate relief, and any answers that I have for long-term relief, of course, they're all theoretical, and I want to say they're not reasonable, but they're very reasonable. It's just I don't believe they're doable. Parents, I think it comes down to parenting. And there are a lot of bad parents out here. There are a lot of bad parents out here. So it comes down to parenting. And then what can we as a society do to take up the slack for the bad parenting? And I know somebody is going to say, you can't blame parenting for some grown man shooting some other grown man in the middle of the street. You can't blame parenting for some of this stuff, but you really can. You really can. I believe it comes down to how you raise your children. And y'all know that old, you train up a child and when they're old, y'all know that. And so if you're not giving them good, solid morals and values and, a value for life, I don't know. It's just, hello, E. Are you still on the bus? Have not listened to the radio. Just wanted to understand what's up. Sean, you are a little late. I'm not on the buzz anymore. And it's fine. I didn't take the vaccine. They have a vaccine mandate, so I'm not there anymore. That's pretty much the whole story, or all that's important right now. Gerald says, I just had a fight with 2 fat women at Church's Chicken. Where's there a Church's Chicken around here? Are there Church's Chickens around here? Well, hopefully you are right. And why do they have to be fat? What difference did it make that the women was fat? Don't forget to watch Bomani Jones' new show, Game Theory, on HBO Saturday night. All right. What up? 13th grade should be a whole year of parenting and economic classes. I don't see you got to a lot of these parents have to relearn, because a lot of them have been taught basically materialism, all of this. Sean says, I did not know. Okay. I know you didn't know, but it's just from my perspective, it hasn't been a month yet, but I've explained it so many times that, when somebody else comes in, I'm sure everybody else is listening like, not this again. Oh my God, he about to go into this story again. So I'm not, trying to like pick on you or say anything bad about you. It's just, I've mentioned it so many times. They should say they got to be fat because they whooped his ass. Let's see. Crystal says, I think it says train up a child in the way that you would have them to go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. Something like that. But Gerald says, I told you I work in Dayton. The redhead broke my nose. Hold on. You for real? You got your ass whooped by 2 women? Why would you be fighting over chicken? Like, what was the fight over? Like, bro, you just worked there. There's no, and then this is kind of what I'm talking about. All of the shootings are not over chicken, but some of this stuff is ego driven. Some of this stuff is, ain't nobody gonna disrespect me, and ain't nobody gonna this, and I want what he got, or something like that. We just need better morals and better values. Better morals and better values. Oh, all right, put that one up there. Fighting over church's chicken. No, fighting over Chick-fil-A, maybe. Wow, I would never let a woman whoop me. Man, it was two. It was two women to his defense, and two larger women. You know, what can you do? What can you do? But again, that's his story. That's his story. If you've never been exposed to anything, you try to catch up as you progress. Right. Right. Someone says share, please. Are you talking about share the live stream? All right. I hadn't paid much attention, hadn't heard anything really new about the Russia and Ukraine thing. And oh, Gerald with some more. I know I like a good messy story. I wish he could call in and just share the story and I could ask him a few questions about the story. He says he works in the drive-through. The blonde-haired woman through the hold on, so they were two Caucasian women. It was two Caucasian. Just so I'm clear. Just so I'm clear, Gerald, you telling us that you got your ass beat by two big Caucasian women in the drive-through. Okay. The blonde-haired woman threw the extra large lemonade in my face, and they proceeded to enter the store and whoop on me. I'm believing that you making this up. I'm just believing that you making the whole thing up. I find that difficult to believe. I find that difficult to believe. Teaching kids morals and values in a world where they're with no morals and values, that's a hard one. Go on Google, get a Google number so he can call your phone. I don't believe his story. I just don't believe his story. I believe he's making it up for entertainment's sake, but just thinking about it, it is entertaining. It is entertaining. I would never have told that ass whooping story. He is from Dayton. There's glass surrounding the front counter. I think he's making it up. Think about it, man. Gerald fighting with two big white women. Sounds about right. Good afternoon, Phyllis. Good afternoon. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I want to go back to talking about violence. But violence is clearly it's not a white thing. It's not a black thing. I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing about him getting some lemonade thrown in his face, and then the people coming into the store and beating him up. I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. I just don't. But it is funny. He's definitely making it up. Those women would not have been able to get to him. The people want to know what location in Dayton. This is so stupid. Oh boy. Two fat women, extra large lemonade. That's realistic. That's realistic. But I'm sorry. I'm getting off track. We promote war, but opposed to local violence. See, when people say stupid stuff like that, explain to me, number one, who's promoting war? Who's promoting war? The only one promoting war right now, according to the media, is Russia. Everybody else would love the war to end. Nobody's on here or anywhere else promoting war. Now, we may be promoting intervening to save innocent lives in a war, but no one is promoting war. And of course, we're opposed to local violence. I'm opposed to violence, period. I'm opposed to violence, period. So I would have to ask you, Ben, what are you in support of or opposed to? So you're for people shooting, people getting shot in the street in the city of Cincinnati or anywhere else around the country? Is that what you're doing? I'm asking you, what are you in support of or opposed to with regard to this? I haven't heard anybody say on here between us that America should get involved in that war. I haven't heard anybody say that. So what are you talking about? Ben Bowder Zelensky in the house. Y'all still talking about this man making up this story about getting beat up by two fat women. Samuel says hospitals being bombed. And I have to say allegedly. Allegedly hospitals being bombed. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. No doubt about it. I still don't know that I want the United States. I definitely don't want the United States sending in any ground troops. And even Zelensky, at least not too long ago, said we don't need any ground troops. We'll fight our own battle. We'll fight our own battle. They just need help with the skies. They want a no-fly zone. But nobody's promoting war. And hopefully we're all against violence in the communities, all communities. But when I say hopefully, I don't necessarily think that that's the case. I don't necessarily think that that's the case. I think there are way too many people who are okay. Way too many people who are okay with violence in our communities. I know of people who, act like that's a badge of honor. Like, I'm from this hood and we got more killings in this hood than in your hood. Or I'm from this city and we got more killings in my city than in your city. And so somehow that's a badge of honor. Somehow that's a badge of honor to them. And that's the mindset that needs to change. That's the mindset that needs to change. And it needs to be, at least with the little kids, taught out of them. But again, who's going to teach it out of them? If your parent believes that, if your parent believes violence is the way, if your parent believes, I'm kind of tired of man, but all this materialism and all of that kind of stuff is the way. Because that leads to some of this stuff too, just our values and just being messed up. Just being messed up. The things that are important don't seem all that important. I don't know who's gonna teach it out of them. If it's how the parents feel, if it's how they were raised. Sure wish they would leave this time alone. Stop messing with the clock. Oh, get over it. How old are you, Linda? You should be used to it by now. Happens twice a year. Deal with it. Deal with it. Like the people complaining about gas prices. Gas prices are going to go up. Hopefully, eventually, they'll come back now. And then you know what? Something else is going to happen and they're going to go up. Deal with it. Stop whining and complaining about it. And Linda, I don't know how old you are. I don't know how old you are, and I really don't want to guess. But if I had to guess, I would say you're at least in your 40s. I can't see a picture of you. But in my mind, if you're watching this, you might be in your 40s. But let's say you in your 30s. You've been dealing with this time change thing for 30-something years. twice a year, the clock's gonna move. And you don't even really have to move no clocks, very much nowadays. You only have to do your iPhone or your Android device is gonna update automatically. And for a whole lot of us, that's kind of our primary thing. An Apple Watch or some other kind of watch, it's gonna update. And what? You gotta push a button maybe and then hold another button and then do that. Oh, so you got an old school watch. You might have to pull that pin out and do that. Oh, Lord. Oh, let me see. You in your car and you might have to push this and turn that or whatever. Oh, Lord. Come on. It ain't that big of a deal. It ain't that big of a deal. People complain about stuff, but maybe a little too much. D says on CNN, they showed the dead bodies of Ukrainians all lined up, and one of the bodies clearly moved. This dead guy pulled the body bag over his head. No cap. Something is fishy about this war. It's an iPhone 7. It's an iPhone 7. Don't disrespect my iPhone. And of course, it changes the time. Don't disrespect my iPhone. Even though I understand it. I understand it. But it's just not necessary. That's all I'm saying. It's not necessary. Somebody talking about Richie's and churches. I don't believe his story, and I think y'all getting too caught up in his story. I don't believe it to be true. And D, I don't know if what you're saying is true. I don't know if what you're saying is true, but I don't believe everything that I see on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or any of these news networks. I don't believe everything that I see. And I know that sounds crazy. Why would they lie? But some of this is propaganda. Some of this is propaganda. And like I was saying yesterday, I don't like being manipulated. I don't like being manipulated. So I got a problem with it. I got a problem with it. I'm sorry, I'm looking at something here. I'm looking at something here about this teacher being suspended after an altercation with a student who brought a gun to school. They say that the coach, Kenneth Miller, said he received a video showing guns on the ground. On their way to a pep rally that day, school officials got notice that students were planning on doing something. The school's principal asked him to investigate. Coach Miller, they say, is the reason all of Metro Atlanta does not know the date, August 20th, 2021. That's because he averted another tragic school shooting that day and no one was hurt. Everyone went home safe. Coach Miller is the reason these guns were found. Apparently they found guns, but the Fulton County School District told McClatchy that Miller failed to meet the professional expectations it has for employees. They say Mr. Miller acted outside of the scope of his authority and responsibilities. Mr. Miller's conduct resulted in an escalation of a physical altercation with a student in crisis, which conflicts with the district expectations to de-escalate in these types of situations. Interesting. District officials scheduled a termination hearing in the case. Interesting. Sorry, that story just popped up. I saw that story. Maybe there is a good time when somebody should be able to stop doubting that man's story. I don't believe me. I think he's lying. When a student, need to be grabbed. But again, I just saw that story. It literally just popped up on my screen here, and I saw it. I don't, just loosely based on what I'm understanding, if a teacher restrained an armed student at the school, averting some sort of school shooting, that's not a case where that person should be reprimanded at all. Some of these zero tolerance rules and all of that kind of stuff, some of these zero tolerance rules are just terrible. Just terrible. Oh, not Gerald again. The 2 American women were upset because they said, I forgot they fried okra, but I did not recall them ordering it initially. Okay. D says, I will tag you in the video. Okay. Okay. Somebody says, wow, sounds like we got a female Tucker Carlson in here. Somebody said the student slapped the phone out the teacher's hand, and that's why he grabbed them. Okay, again, I just saw it pop up, so I don't have all the details, which is why I'm kind of refraining from making a decision about it. That's why I'm kind of refraining from making a decision about it. But I don't know. I'm still talking about this man. He made that story up, y'all. He made that story up. Stop falling for it. Stop falling for it. He made the whole thing up. You can't convince me that he didn't make it up. I saw earlier, Janice, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to put it up, where Janice says that 2 years is not enough time for the guy. He was 27. The guy who punched the guy in the Dunkin' Donuts and he died. 2 years, and that's just 2 years of home incarceration. 2 years of home incarceration. And I'm looking through here. Video shows Ukraine ambushing Russian tank convoy. Now, that's an actual war. Like almost beginning of a, because this is almost looking like the beginning of something much bigger. Like I could see a world war coming about because of this. And we're actually kind of watching it. We're kind of watching it. Let's see. Billy says he saved the lives of we don't know how many people. All right. Well, they got a zero tolerance policy, apparently. They got a zero tolerance policy. You can't, and I mean, that sounds good. You can't put your hands on the students. That sounds great. But, you know, if the students is about to shoot up the school, I want you putting your hands on them. In that case. But again, that's just the way I see it. Travis and Gregory McMichael, they're trying to appeal their hate crime convictions. Which, you know, they got to do it. You got to do it. I guess I'm not mad at them for filing motions to be acquitted on the hate crime charges. You got to do it. They definitely shouldn't be acquitted, but I'm not mad at them for trying. I would try. But it is one of those things that you got to watch. You got to keep your eye on it because you never know. You never know who might make the decision, what judge might look at it and think all the attention is gone. Nobody's really paying attention. So, yeah, we can acquit them of that. So it's one of those things where you got to keep your eyes on everything that's going on. You got to keep your eyes on everything that's going on. Actually, y'all, I don't have a whole lot of other stuff to talk about today. I've got some other stuff I have to do, but I don't have. Oh, hold on. Let me address something. Y'all are wrong. Y'all so wrong. Some of y'all. My thing was set up wrong yesterday. My audio was set up wrong. And y'all was listening to my phone call. Why would I? Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Monica and Angel. And thanks, Scott. I'm not 100% sure. The other people who text me and said, hey, we can still hear you talking on the phone. Thank you. Thank you. Now, not that anything super secret was happening, but y'all just so wrong. Y'all just so wrong. Oh, I'm gonna just listen to this man's private conversation. Y'all was wrong for that. I just want y'all to know that. I just want y'all to know that. Y'all was wrong for that. But I appreciate the people who called in or text me and said, hey, bro, we can hear your phone conversation. It wasn't a big deal. Somebody wants me to record some vocals. We multi-tracking some vocals. It's simple. But it ain't none of y'all business. Ain't none of y'all business. Yo says, I didn't have your number, bro, but I tuned out. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Y'all was just gonna listen to my stuff. We're not all so privileged to have your personal number, bro. But y'all, that people were on here like, oh, I'm listening. Oh, I'm not gonna turn. I'm gonna listen. So the phone call came after the show was over and I had signed out and my phone rang. I thought it was the man. Which I kind of got a bone to pick with the man too. But I thought it was the man, but it was a different man. And, you know, he's a recording artist and he's recording a project and he needs to lay down some vocals. They already laid down, you know, some of the music tracks and he needs to lay down some vocals and some background vocals with multiple people. And he was asking me if I could do that. So it wasn't any big secret, but what if it would have been my personal information out there? Y'all was just gonna listen to it. Probably somebody was ready to write stuff down. Yes, we were. Juicy stuff. There's nothing juicy. By the way, have you called Scott yet? Yes, I talked to Scott. I need to call Vanessa. But I did talk to Scott. Scott says, hey, I'm headed down to my place in Georgia for the weekend. You keep going in. And I'm guessing he's saying out. Can you boost your signal so I can get you in the mountains? Yeah, I'll have Thomas cut the signal up. You got me? All right, Thomas got me. Thomas is cutting the signal up. You should be able to get me in the mountains now. Somebody was ready to write that Kroger number down for gas discounts. It's just a standard number. Look, you know, who am I to? But if you don't want to, you know, Kroger to have all your information or whatever, go in and put in a standard number. What's a standard number? You know, time. Do anybody still know the number to time? I still know the number to time. Do y'all still know the number to time? Like, you know, there was a time when you really did call a phone number to see what the official time was? Do y'all still remember that number? Of course I do. And it's a number probably that you can use at Kroger. Guaranteed somebody has used that as their Kroger Plus number. And so it's like a shared number. That's close, Benita. It's a little off. It's a little off, but it's really close. Let me see. Somebody says 555-1212. Well, that's not the number that I was thinking about. No, Crystal remembers. I still know the number to time and to weather. Diane don't remember. Daryl putting it up there. A number of people putting it up there. Yeah, there was a time when you just called time. Yeah, I'm talking about a real number, not Morris Day. And if you call it, it still gives you, hold on, where's my, yeah, if you call it, hold on, because I got it in my contacts. It's time.
Hi, welcome to Cincinnati Bell, now Auto Fiber. The current date and time is Friday, March 11th, 1:59 p.m. If you would like to speak to a Cincinnati Bell representative, press 0 now to be connected. If you do not need to speak with a representative, please hang up.
Yeah. They still give you the time and the date, apparently. So, yeah. Tria says she didn't know it still worked. Benita called it last week for her friend. Yeah, it still worked. It still worked. You call it and you can find out what time it is. Now, again, the fact that I'm calling it on my smartphone, that as soon as I hit the smartphone, it tells me 1:59. I don't necessarily need it. But yeah, I would imagine that there's some older people who still probably use that number on a regular basis. But I can almost guarantee you that there is someone using it as their Kroger Plus number. Almost guaranteed. Actually, I used to go in and put it in as the Kroger Plus number where you put in your ID, and it stopped working for a time. So I don't know, maybe too many people were using it. But it stopped working for a time. Weather is 241-1010. Yes. And again, I don't need weather. I just scroll over on my phone and hit the little thing. I got another weather app, but I just scroll and I hit the little weather thing. It gives me the weather. I try to tilt it down so y'all can see it, the little glare. 54 degrees. 54 degrees. It's supposed to be 31 degrees on Saturday. Tomorrow, 31 degrees. Can you believe that? Or do you remember last Saturday was like 80 degrees? Last Saturday, it was 80 degrees. Me and Mrs. Livingston went flying kites. And we weren't very successful. The wind was really strong and choppy. But we went out and we tried to fly kites. I had a ball. Every once in a while, we go out and we fly kites. So now we got these big kites. Of course, I got the biggest one. That they had in the store. And I mean, I got it up in the air and it would fly, but then it would get real choppy and it would start spinning and it would crash. And I'm sure some of that was bad. It was pilot error. Some of that I'm certain was pilot error. But I'm trying to get back to doing like little stuff that I enjoy doing. Get out and fly a kite. I want to get out. I've never actually ridden a Segway. I've never ridden a Segway. I want to get on a Segway. It seemed like I would fall. I mean, I don't know that I would, but it seemed like it's a balance thing. I want to get out and I want to rent a Segway and ride it. Just a lot of little things. I want to go, and do y'all remember the place? It was in Sharonville, where you drove the little go-kart rally kart things. It was an outside spot, and you was racing. Now I know they got some indoor spots, but they tracks ain't all that big, and the cars don't go all that fast. But what was if anybody remembers, what was the name of the place? Again, it was in Sharonville. Like just as you pass the Sharonville exit, it was, if you're going north, it was off to the right. There's a hotel there now. No, there's a hotel there now. It's not there anymore. Was it called Malibu? No, I know it's Daryl says that's been gone. That's been gone. I know it's been gone. But I want to do something like that. I did it at some of the indoor spots, and that was all right. But it wasn't the same as the outdoor spots. But behind Dave and Buster's, no. This spot been gone. I don't know why I keep wanting to say it was like Raleigh something or another, but he says it was Malibu. So I'll take his word for it. It was called Malibu Raceway. But no, it was off of 75 going north. Yes, there is one by Dave and Buster's. I didn't go to that one, which is another indoor spot. Is the one at Dave and Buster's, do the cars go relatively fast? And can you race? Because the one that I went to was like in Liberty Township. And even the people were like, hey, when they start you, don't be trying to pass people. This is not a race. I'm like, what are we doing in race cars if we not trying to pass people? If this is not a race, what is the point of this? If this is not a race, what's the point of it? Scott says Segways are really fun. Never ridden one. Excuse me. Sammy says, I believe you can race. Not the spot that I went to. They specifically said, don't try to pass people. This is not a race. This is some bitch shit. What if it's not a race, then what? Malibu Grand Prix. That sounds Malibu, but I knew it was something else to it. Yeah, the outdoor raceway was near Wing Champ. Yeah. Full Throttle has a nice indoor go-kart park. The cars will go up to 45 miles per hour. Me and the wifey did it, and we enjoyed it. Okay. So for the place that I went to that was in that's not cussing. That's not cussing. That's just, being descriptive of what it is. Using colorful language. Yeah, the place that I went to up in Liberty Township, they were the ones who said no racing. And their cars definitely didn't go no 45 miles an hour. Their cars definitely didn't go 45 miles an hour. So I might have to check that out. You should have screamed at him. If you're not first, you're last. Oh. You thought it was midway. Somebody said, if you can't pass nobody, that's a merry-go-round. Yeah. And they were like, don't bump the car in front of you. This is not bumper cars. I'm like, I'm trying to get around them. When I was admonished. Admonished. Phyllis says the merry-go-round is her favorite ride. That's not a ride. Merry-go-round is not even a real ride. It's not a real ride. It's something that you put little kids on, even babies. Even babies. You put babies on that, you know, because they can't ride nothing. Merry-go-round is not a real ride. Scene 75 up in Milford has an Scene 75 has an indoor go-kart track, but you can't race other cars too. All right. Give me any kind of roller coaster. I am a roller coaster person. I like a good roller coaster. I like a good roller coaster. Told you I got a concussion on the Son of Beast. I know I had a concussion because I was sick. I had a headache and I was nauseous at least for a week, maybe a week and a half after riding. And I rode it, you know, when it still had the loop and all of that stuff. But it was so super rough. And that almost turned me off of roller coasters. Because, you know, some of them older roller coasters, the older wooden roller coasters up at Kings Island, some of those are really rough. Some of those are really rough. But, you know, I can take the Beast. Do they still call the other one the Beastie? I haven't been up there. It's been like 3 years since I've been up there. Do they still call the little one the Beastie? Or have they changed it for the little kids? But I made all my kids when they was like 3. Like 3 was my age. You 3 years old, you can ride a roller coaster. You 3, you can ride a roller coaster. I'm gonna be sitting right there next to you, make sure you don't fall out. But they was gonna ride a roller coaster. Yes, at 3, because there wasn't no height limit. And I, you know, gave them until 3. But yeah. But some of them, it's not just wooden roller coasters that are rough. Because like what is it? The one that used to be where the bat was, Vortex. Did they take Vortex out? Again, I ain't been there in a minute. But Vortex got really rough. Vortex got really rough, and it was a steel roller coaster. Anyone like the Fury? That was the pirate ship Viking Fury. Yeah, I like Viking Fury. I always remember the last time I rode Viking Fury was the worst. I had the worst experience ever. Well, I didn't have the worst experience. Someone had the worst experience ever on Viking Fury. Yes, 3 years old. 3 years old. That is not child abuse. And all my kids love roller coasters. All my kids love roller coasters. I got season passes one year when my youngest daughter was like 3. And I took them up there, and that's all they really wanted to ride was the Beastie. We would ride, get off, run right back again, get back on, ride, get off, run around, get right back on. They love roller coasters. And yes, at 3 years old. Yes, at 3 years old. But okay, I was talking about the Viking Fury. This is nasty. This is nasty. But it was hilarious. We ride in the Viking Fury, you know, it go up, it go down, it go up, it go down. And there was this girl, and she might have been 10, 11. And I could tell, ooh, she's getting sick. Now, I always sit as far back as I can sit because, you know, you get the best ride. The further back you are, you get the best ride. She was like in that first row where you're actually facing the other people, and she was getting sick. And I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And they went up, they went back, and she started throwing up as they was coming towards her, and the throw up hit some people. in the face. It was nasty, but hilarious. And they didn't stop the ride. They didn't stop the ride. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible, but it was hilarious because all they wanted to do was get off the ride, but they didn't stop the ride. I don't know if the ride operator saw it, but I saw it and I knew it was coming. And I was like, uh-oh. And she started throwing up and they went right into it. It was like timed perfectly. And like she didn't hold her head down or anything. She kind of held her head back and it was that kind of projectile throw up. That was the last time I rode it. That was the last time I rode it. But it was nasty, but it was hilarious. It would have been funny if it would have happened to me. It would have been funny if it would have happened to me, but it was hilarious. My favorite old school rides up at Kings Island, and I don't know why I used to like it, but the floor drop. Anybody remember the floor drop? You sit there and the thing spin around and then, you know, centrifugal force holds you there and the floor drop out from under you. I always enjoyed that ride for some reason. It terrified me because I was little. You know, we used to go for GE Day. My daddy worked at GE. And so we used to go once a year on GE Day. And yeah, it was for me, it was terrifying. What ride was that? The rocking boat, the Viking Fury, rocking boat. I don't know what they call it nowhere else. But the real ride, the real name is the Viking Fury. Absolutely. And if you're tall, your knees get beat up. I'm not sure what y'all talking about. Floor drop was fun until I started getting dizzy from it. Had to give it up. Floor drop was my favorite. Could not do it today. I couldn't do it either. I'm old now. So I can't do rides to just go around in circles no more. I don't know, something, my equilibrium, I blame it on the beastie. I don't blame it on the son of beast. I don't blame it on getting old. Since the son of beast gave me that concussion, I can't do spinning rides no more. But I was never a huge fan of spinning rides because when I was younger, again, this happened at Kings Island GE Day. Me and I don't remember if it was my brother or my cousin or just me and a friend. I don't remember, but it was me and a group of maybe 2 or 3 other people. We got on one of those, I don't remember what it was called, the little barrel thing with the little thing in the middle and you got to spin it. And there was a dude on there and the dude said, y'all want to spin fast? And we was all like, yeah. And he was like, all right, here we go. And he was like, and just before he started spinning, he was like, just so y'all know, I'm a bus driver. And I didn't know exactly what that meant. I mean, I knew what a bus driver was, but oh my God, we was spinning so fast. I was so sick. I wanted him to stop so bad. But you know, I didn't want to seem like no punk. But ever since then, I've not been a fan of rides that spin you. Anybody remember the Snake? It was a stand-up roller coaster at Kings Island. You talking about the King Cobra? And I was never a huge fan of the King Cobra. Them bus drivers back in the day had Popeye arms because there was no power steering. All I can tell you is he got to spinning that thing. I don't really remember much after that. Except thinking, please stop. And I was just, I felt sick. I didn't throw up. The Bat was a stand-up ride. I like that. No, the Bat was not a stand-up ride. The Bat was not a stand-up ride. No, the Bat, you sat in it. If I recall, you sat in it and like your feet dangled down and it had the thing above you. But the Bat was not a stand-up roller coaster. Yeah, no. Yes, the King Cobra, not the snake. And y'all remember, anybody remember Flight Commander? Now, I know I done shared this story with y'all. I don't know how many times, but somebody, this might be their first time here. I almost died on Flight Commander. And this is not me being hyperbolic or anything. And it was like a week before that lady actually died on Flight Commander. The Flight Commander, that's what I'm talking about. Flight Commander. I almost died on that ride a week before that lady died. Me and my friend went. We got on Flight Commander. They harnessed us in or whatever, brought the little thing down. And it had a joystick in the middle. So he was sitting on one side. I was sitting on the other side. I don't remember which side I was on. But it spun around. And then it was arms and it rose up. But then you could also take the car that you were sitting in and you could spin the car on that axis. Well, my friend, just having fun, because it's what you're supposed to do. He took the joystick and he was spinning it. And we got to a point where he stopped, but I was up and I felt myself sliding out of the ride. And I was telling him, because I was holding on to the little thing that they put over you. I was holding on to it because my body was sliding out. And I was screaming, whatever I was screaming, take us back or stop doing whatever I was screaming to him. I don't even really remember. But I wanted him to do it so that I would be straight. Because I was literally holding on with all my might because I was sliding out of that ride. And he was just laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing because, he just thought I was scared to go upside down. Like, I'm not scared to go upside down. Like if he would have took us and spun us, I think it spun you all the way around, but I don't really remember. If he would have spun us all the way around, I would have been fine. But he stopped it at an angle where I was sliding out of the ride and I was holding on. And I remember I had keys in my pocket, which was a bad idea, and my wallet in my back pocket, and all of that flew out. And I'm screaming for dear life. And my feet was hanging out. I don't know how the ride operator didn't see it. And then eventually he brought us back down. And I was like, I was falling out of the ride. I called him an N because, I say that word every once in a while. And he was like, oh, I thought you was playing. And I'm like, no, I was falling out the ride. And then we had to go and we found my keys and my wallet and everything. And then like a week later, that lady died, slipped right on out and fell and died. So I didn't see the story. He saw the story and he was like, I guess that's when it got real for him. Like, you wasn't playing. You was really falling out. And I'm like, yeah, I told you that. And then he was like, no, somebody just fell out the ride and they died. I was like, huh? And then he, showed me the story. And I was like, wow, that could have been me. So I'm glad that wasn't me. But yeah, no, that ride, did you have one of those Velcro wallets? Not at this time, even though I did at one point have a Velcro wallet. But I like that, the floor drop, the cars that used to ride over the park. The cars that used to ride over the park, I don't remember what they was called, but I always enjoyed that. I enjoyed going the cable cars or whatever it was that used to go over the park. I always enjoyed that. I always enjoyed that. And that, yeah, that's how far back, of course, I remember it because, because I'm old. But I always enjoyed that. And my daughter still can't believe that they didn't used to have, because now, on all the roller coasters, they got the little bar either that they pull down or a little bar that they pull over you here. My daughter still don't believe that when I was little, when we were little, they didn't have all of those safety things. So every time we going up the hill and she sees like on the Beast or on the Racer or on all of those, every time we go up the hill and she see that, and one day she was like, why do they have that thing say don't stand and keep your hands in the car? You can't stand up. And I was like, because you used to be able to stand up. And she's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yeah, you did. No, because how you gonna stand up with this bar? I'm like, that bar didn't exist when I was growing up. We used to stand up on the roller coaster and hold our hands up as best as we could going down the hill. And I partway still believe that she don't believe me. But yeah, no, the little bar to go on your lap or the little thing that come over here, that didn't exist. So yeah, she still be like, I can't believe they would ever just let y'all stand up on the roller coaster. I'm like, that's why they got the sign to say, don't stand up. Why else would they put the sign there if you couldn't stand up? But yeah, she don't believe it. These younger people, they don't know. I wouldn't say how bad we had it, but that was fun. That was just good fun. And somebody said they don't like bumper cars. Bumper cars was always one of my favorite. Bumper cars and those old time cars, because I always felt like I was actually driving in the old time cars, because you could actually steer, except for you had to stay. They had that little, I'm gonna call it rail. They had that little rail in the middle, so you couldn't, just drive off. But yeah. It was the King Cobra coaster that you stood up during the ride at Kings Island. No, Daryl. No. There was, you used to be able to stand up on the roller coasters, on the Beast, on the Racer. Those are really the only ones that I remember. You used to be able to stand up because they didn't have the thing that go over your chest, or the the little ratchet things that come down and hold you down. You used to be able to stand up because it was just a bar. There was nothing there to hold you in. Am I the only one who remember that? Tria says safety was not an issue then. They didn't give a damn. Am I the only one who remember that? Somebody want details. Well, my guess is she talking about when my mama beat the lady up at Kings Island. That is a true story. What about the indoor roller coaster? Oh, I don't remember what it's called now. I think it's Flight of Fear. Flight of Fear used to be Outer Limits. Somebody, Emanuel, made it sound like she laid the lady down on some pillows. Okay, I'm not sure what y'all talking about. But Screaming Demon was fun. Went forward, then went backwards. Screaming Demon was fun. There was a seat belt and bar on the back of the seat in front of you, but no lap bar. I don't even remember it being a seat belt. No, I remember that. It was fun. Stupid, but fun. I want to hear about your mama beating somebody up. Oh, how many times do I have to share these stories? There was a lady, we were at Kings Island. Again, we used to go every year for GE Day. There was a lady who was, if I recall correctly, she was a older white lady, was picking with my cousin who had come with us. What? I don't know why. I'm drawing a blank on my cousin's name. I'm drawing a blank on my cousin's name. Not that that matters to y'all, but it matters to me when I can't remember stuff that I know. Rose's daughter. I can't remember her name. Cynthia. Yeah. So there was the older white lady, actually a kind of bigger lady. We were on the tram leaving Kings Island, actually. The day was over. And you remember they used to have the little trams that would take you around so you get to your little place. You get to the place where you are parked. So we was getting on the tram, and this lady, for whatever reason, either wouldn't let Cynthia sit down, and Cynthia was a little girl, teenager, like we were little kids. And I remember that Moms wasn't having it, and Moms went over there, and I remember Moms fighting with the lady and throwing her off of the tram, like kind of slamming her off of the tram. I don't really remember all the details because I was little. Cynthia was carrying Nick, who's my little brother. Cynthia was carrying Nick. See, I got family on here who can fill in the details because I don't remember all the details. I was little. Wasn't your mother a preacher's wife? And if somebody picking with your people, preacher's wife or not, you handle business. And if I recall correctly, she didn't just go up like, throwing bowls and stuff. There was warning, like, leave her alone. Leave her alone. And the lady wouldn't leave her alone. And like, I think a lot of people, took my mom's for being the lady pushed Cynthia. The lady pushed Cynthia while she was carrying the baby. And Mom's put it on her. And Mom's was a little short something. Her nickname was Shorty. Mom's was short, like I'm 5'4", and by the time I was 16, again, I'm 5'4". By the time I was 16, I was towering over my mama. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like I'm looking down at this little lady, like, what you gonna do? But Moms can handle business. So I think a lot of people took Moms because she was short and slender. They took her for soft. And I remember that lady. I remember her being thrown off the tram. Again, I was little. I might have been 5, maybe 5. So, of course, I don't remember all the details of it. But I remember it was a big Caucasian lady. I remember my cousin Cynthia was somehow involved. And I remember there being some warnings. That's what I remember. And then I remember that lady being thrown off of that tram. That's what I remember. Mom was about 5'1" and about 100 pounds. Yeah, but I remember that. LaDonna says I'm 5'4". I'm 5'5", like, and a half. Not that makes a huge difference, but I remember Mom's was short. Somebody asked, do I remember Americana? I remember Americana, and here's what I really remember about Americana. I remember trying to get some scrapes on Debbie Martin, but she wasn't going for it. That's what I remember. They had a nice Ferris wheel, one of them caged-in kind. If you pulled the thing, it would spin you around while the thing was going around. I always enjoyed that. But I don't remember a whole lot about Americana, except we went there with the school, and I was trying to get some scrapes on Debbie Martin, and Debbie Martin was not having it. She was not having it. That's really all I remember. Like, I couldn't tell you about a whole lot of the rides except for that Ferris wheel. And it was on that Ferris wheel where, you know, I was trying to give me some scrapes. It was on that little Ferris wheel. And I guess, was I really trying to get some scrapes? Yeah, I was. But I was trying to do it on a Ferris wheel where we were sitting next to each other. So I was trying to feel on her, and she wasn't having that either. She wasn't having that either. Yeah, I was trying to get some scrapes. Hey, scrapes was where it was at. Your mother was not a violent woman, but don't push her. Yes, that was her. That was her. She was not a violent woman, but she wasn't necessarily putting up with a whole lot of stuff. She wasn't necessarily putting up with a whole lot of stuff. Up until she died. I won't say I was afraid of her, because I wasn't afraid of her, but I wouldn't have never tested her. Even though I still believe, you know, when I was 16, I remember thinking I could take her, but I wasn't willing to chance it. That ride was called the Electric Rainbow. Okay. Jerica remembers the Waterlogs and the backwards roller coaster. Is that at Kings Island or Americana? Because I remember the Waterlogs. I remember the sign that said, "Get ready to take the Nestea plunge." I don't know why that sign, is that sign still there? I think that sign might still be there. But that I remember from Kings Island. I remember that, the Waterlogs and that. I'm sorry for your loss, Emanuel. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Mom's been gone for a minute, you know. Americana. It was Americana. Okay, I don't really remember a roller coaster at Americana, and I love roller coasters. Oh, wait a minute. Has anyone ridden the new roller coaster at Kings Island, and is it worth going to ride? What is it? Orion or whatever it is. Has anyone ridden that, and is it worth going to ride? Because I like roller coasters. I think Diamondback is the best roller coaster that they have there. Even though I don't like that lap thing. I don't feel secure with the lap thing. When I ride the Diamondback, you know, because they don't have a thing that covers you here. They just got the lap thing that holds you in. And when I ride the Diamondback, in my head, that lap thing is just going to fly up one day. And then I'm going to end up flying out of the roller coaster. I don't know. That's the only thing that makes me uneasy about Diamondback, is it's just that lap thing. So I hold on real tight either to the lap thing, and I don't even know what good I think that's going to do, because if it fly up, I'm flying up. Or I try to grab something, but I don't feel safe on it. I don't know why. I just feel like that lap thing is going to fly up. Yeah, Orion is a dope coaster. Okay. Orion is fun as hell, and the roller coasters at Americana was the Screeching Eagle and the Serpent. I live in Hamilton, so Americana was closer and cheaper. Yes, that would be closer and cheaper. La Swordsville Lake. I used to take my kids to La Swordsville Lake. If I'm thinking of the right thing, it's kind of out there in the Hamilton area. It's they got a lot of little rides. It's more like for kids. So I used to take the kids out there before they turned 3. because they got a little roller coaster, and they got a slightly bigger roller coaster, but they got a little roller coaster that the kids could get on, and they enjoyed it. I work at Kings Island in my early 30s, the worst job ever for an adult. Oh. The Diamondback retired me from roller coasters at Kings Island. I was done. I thought I was going to fly out. Good. So it ain't just me. It just does not. There is something about it unsettling, that little thing coming down on you, on your like kind of belly lap area, doesn't inspire thoughts of safety. Doesn't inspire thoughts of safety. Even though I'll ride it. Every time I go there, I'm getting on it because I like a good roller coaster. I like a good roller coaster. They don't let babies ride rides, Kings Island now. So the Beastie, again, I'm not sure if the Beastie is still there. So I couldn't take that little baby to Kings Island and put her on the Beastie, is what you're saying? She's 4. She's well past time to have been up there riding. And the only reason that I haven't taken her is because I don't necessarily want to take that away from her parents. You know, her mom and her dad, they might want to do it. So I don't want to take that away from her, but I feel like it's well past time for her to have gotten on the Beastie. Well past time. But I haven't done it only because I don't want to take that from them. But I will take her little behind up there and put her on that Beastie and watch her be terrified. There is some fun about watching the kids be terrified. I would take her up there and put her on that roller coaster in a heartbeat. And she'll love it. She will love it. The Viking had me about to call Earl. I love spitting and watching the koi fish eat it at Americana. I used to see people do that. I used to think that's nasty, but them little koi fish did like to eat it. And I remember the gum trees as you headed down to Whitewater Canyon. There were a few trees where people just got in the habit of sticking gum. And so like the whole tree became like a gum tree. Of course, they cut those now. Kings Island has little roller coasters for kids in Kittyland. The Beastie was in Kittyland. And again, I don't know, because all them other little punk roller coasters, I mean, them is fun for little kids, like, ooh, wee. But the Beastie was like a little pared down version of a real roller coaster. So yeah, that'll get you. Anthony say his youngest son worked there as a team. They work him like slaves too. We made him stop. I tried to get hired at Kings Island. They would not hire me. But I wanted to work at Kings Island. I really only wanted to work there because I knew that on my days off, I would be able to go to Kings Island. But they would not hire me. I remember the Beastie. It was fun. Talking about spitting and having the koi fish eat it. A lot of people did that. You see a lot of people do it. They did it at Kings Island. I disagree with Kings Island being the worst. I still work at Church's Chicken. You used to love grad night at Kings Island. I think it was grad night. That was when I almost fell out of the little Skylab thing. I only went once. The Beastie is still there, it just has a new name. Snoopy something, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Do they have a height requirement? Because they used to not have a height requirement. It was not an age or a height requirement. They have Son of Beast. I don't know about the Beastie though. They don't have Son of Beast anymore. They don't have Son of Beast anymore. That's gone. Son of Beast is gone. Thank goodness. Oh, Beastie, I meant. Okay. Grad night was scrape night. Do they still do grad night? I don't know. I don't know. You were not hired. The quota of blacks had been reached. Worked Kings Island when I was 16. So much fun. Road rides before starting work. You're a giant. Okay. Don't know what that means, but it's probably true. Wasn't senior skip day at Kings Island? No. Well, at least ours wasn't. Our senior skip day, we did it at some park. I don't remember what park. Some park. Nobody do senior skip day at Kings Island. Y'all need to live in a hellhole like West Virginia in order to appreciate where y'all live. I would love to live in Cincy. I lost my class ring. Somebody's talking about a class ring. I lost my class ring. I'm still sick about it. I think somebody stole it because I know I knew where I left it. And when I went back to get it, it was, and it wasn't in public. It was in my apartment. And I think somebody stole it. I think somebody stole it. Your new setup is better than the Buzz. Do they still have the Beast? They do still have the Beast. Or at least last time I went, which was like 3 years ago, they still had the Beast. And I rode it. It's rough. It's rough, but it's still fun. And it's pretty long. And I added a few new roller coasters that ain't, you know, like what, the Banshee? Or did they take the Banshee down to put up Orion or whatever it is? Did they take Banshee down to put up Orion? I think they might have, which was fine. Banshee was, it was just okay at best. Just okay at best. But I do need to go up there and ride. I do need to go up there and ride Orion. E-Man, no support information on that ride. Roller coaster, Kings Island. They will measure kids now. Okay. Okay. My class ring fits my pinky finger. I wish I still had it. I wish I still had it. You started crying on where? What did you start? And how old were you when you started crying? I had to know. How old were you when you started crying, and what did you start crying on? Jack says, old girl asked to see my ring on Metro, but she went to another school and she didn't ride the rest of the year. She had it on claiming I was her dude, yarn on it to make it fit her finger. They put crack in that Kings Island La Rosas, though. I never eat when I go to Kings Island. I never eat when I go to Kings Island. I don't know why. Well, just because I don't want to spend a whole lot of money for stuff that I either eat before or I eat after. But I never, or I guess I should say I very rarely ever, like if I'm with Mrs. Livingston, you know, she likes to do stuff like that. Like, oh, let's get some pizza. Really? 2 slices of pizza. We could just save that money, and when we leave, go get a large. You know what I'm saying? We can go get a large. But, you know, if she want to eat, then we eat. But I very rarely ever eat there. The wind seeker will take your breath away. The wind seeker don't look fun to me. It just go around and go up high. Maybe if it came kind of crashing down like the one thing that the drop zone, maybe if it came crashing down like that, it would be fun. But I don't have a desire to ride the wind seeker. I've never had a desire to ride that ride. I might do it one day just to say that I did it, but I've never had a desire to ride that ride. I used to like that one ride, you know, it swings back and forth and it spins around. So it's swinging and spinning. And what is that called? What is that one called? Oh, I can't remember this stuff, y'all. I'm too old. But what's the one? Y'all know the one I'm talking about. Swings back and forth. It's a pendulum, but it also turns on that axis while it's swinging, and it go up real high, real high. Kings Island, La Roses is the best. It's the same stuff as anything else. Delirium. Yes, Delirium. I used to like to ride that. I used to love that ride. That was one of my favorites. But again, I can't do stuff where I'm spinning around in circles no more. It makes me sick to my stomach. So I just can't do it no more. I just can't. I can't take it. Like I'll be having fun for about 30 seconds and then I'll be like, oh, I'm getting dizzy. And I'll be like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And you know, then that's it. That's the end of my ride. And like once I get that feeling, I can't ride no roller coasters. I can't do no bumper cars. All I can do is walk around and sit down and try to get that feeling to go away. That's all I can do. But I tell you what did used to be my ride was at the zoo when they used to have rides. The haunted house. The haunted house at the zoo. That was my ride. That was a ride where you could get on with somebody that you liked and, you know, try to get you some scrapes or try to get a kiss or something like that. We used to go there every once in a while. The school used to take us there. And that was my ride. The haunted house at the zoo. Why is that? Why do we get sick? It hit me in my 20s. Wow. Just can't ride spinning rides anymore. Well, my understanding is it's got something to do with the fluid around your brain or something like that. And, you know, when you're younger, either that fluid is thicker or thinner. I don't remember which is the best, but something about it. And then as you get older, it thins out. And so it does something to you. And that's what does it. I was reading something about it, but it's got, if I'm understanding correctly, it's got something to do about the fluid in your head around your brain. And yeah, that's the reason why we get sick spinning around. When you're younger, I'm gonna say it's thicker, it might be thinner. When you're younger and it's thicker, it stops all those effects. Tria loved the haunted house at the zoo. Tria, you was giving up scrapes and kisses in the haunted house at the zoo. I'm curious as to why all the other people, anyone would say they love the haunted house at the zoo. I know why I loved it. Glenn says it was a fat girl ride. No, you had to ride The old school cars for scraping at Kings Island. No. Didn't Kings Island have a haunted house? Kings Island did have a haunted ride. Kings Island did have a haunted ride. The old school cars, you were still out in public in the daytime. It was dark in the haunted house rides. It was dark. Tria said, yeah, she gave up some scrapes. I respect you for that. I respect you for that. All them chicks that didn't want to give up scrapes. Maybe they just didn't want to give up scrapes to me. But all them chicks that didn't want to give up scrapes, I don't understand them. She better not. Too late. She already said it. She gave up scrapes. Roller coaster dizziness is because of your inner ear. Okay, that's not what I read. But Tria was fast. Yeah, Tria was fast. I'm with you, Glenn. You can't get no scrapes in the old cars. And they were loud. You can't get no scrapes in the old cars. You could get scrapes in an enclosed area, especially if it was dark, like the haunted house or something like that. But if you was getting scrapes on the old cars, what was y'all doing? I was just asking. Look, don't let these people shame you, Tria. Don't let these people shame you. Girls want to give up scrapes as much as boys want to get scrapes. It's just the truth. And if you was getting on the ride, that was the only reason, in my opinion, for you to get on the ride, one of them little dark rides with a little boy that you liked. It's because you knew he was going to try to get some scrapes and you wanted to give up some scrapes or a kiss or whatever. He said she was fast. She was fast. You could get scrapes on them. Y'all was inexperienced. Why would you want to get? I mean, I was about to say, why would you want to get scrapes on the old cars? Okay, you would want to get scrapes anywhere, anytime. So I understand the why. And it's not even necessarily the how. It's just you want everybody seeing you getting scrapes. Like, come on. Tria says, oh, I'm not. I think it's funny. Tria, if you was riding in the haunted house at the zoo with some little boy and you gave up some scrapes, you was a little fast. Just a little, maybe not a whole lot. My D used to get cuffed and rubbed and I had a tit in my hand. What the hell? What the? What? I don't even know how to respond to that. You're riding the old school cars, grabbing titties. What? No. That just don't seem right. It was blind spots, dude. You're really showing your inexperience. You're right. I'm inexperienced. Look, I never really got scrapes anyway. I think once I got scrapes in a haunted house at the zoo. That was about it. Other than that, I spent all my time trying to get scrapes. Unsuccessfully. Please, he was the weirdo guy that messed with the needy girls. But yeah, on the old cars, on the old cars. I was trying to drive on the old cars. Y'all, I don't know what y'all. In my mind, on the old cars, that was the closest I was going to get till I was 16 to actually drive a car. And one of my biggest desires when I was little, from about the time I was like 3 or 4 years old, was to drive a car. So you put me in them old school cars. I hated getting in the old school cars with other people because they always wanted to have some driving time. And I wanted to do all the driving. But no, I'm getting in with Ducky. I'm getting in with Ducky and Bub. And so we're going to have to switch up drivers at some point. And I always put my foot down and drive. That was all I was concerned about. On bumper cars, well, on bumper cars, I was concerned about bumping people too, like ramming people. So bumper cars and the old school cars or old time cars or whatever they were called, all I cared about was driving. If I would have been on a car with a little girl and she would have been grabbing on the D, I'd have been like, stop, I'm trying to drive. Because that's how serious I was about, at least I think I would have said that. That's how serious I was about driving. That's it. Rail drove you around whether you trying or not. I know it did. I never wanted to be on the rail. I wanted to be driving. I wanted to be driving. One hand. Two hands at the bottom. I wanted to be driving. Scott said there was one part, the old time cars that went back by the woods. I still just wanted to drive. I just wanted to drive. Maybe my instincts to drive, I guess, were stronger than my instinct to try to get some scrapes. Because I never wanted to get I never even considered it. I never even considered it on the old time cars. You get to drive and you wasting your time trying to rub on the D. Get off. Stop. I'm driving. Haunted house. We can go to the haunted house after this. Tony says, what's up? What's up, Tony? But all right, y'all. I need to get out of here. I gotta go pick up this thing, this cabinet that I'm making my exposure unit out of. So I gotta go do that. I enjoyed that. I was 86 to 90. I was smashing everywhere. Not me. I was just trying to drive. Plus, again, I tried to get scrapes. I wasn't really all that successful at it. So maybe that's why I was much more focused on the driving part. Tria, don't let them shame you. Don't let them fast shame you. That was a long time ago. You let somebody get some scrapes somewhere, and that's natural. That's natural. All of us who got scrapes at any point got them from somebody. So you didn't do nothing wrong. You were just a part of the natural order of things. And all y'all who ain't admitting it, all y'all girls on here, or women who were girls who ain't admitting it, y'all gave up some scrapes at some point in y'all life too, when y'all was little. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't let them fast shame you. You provided a service to some little boy. You provided a service. You made his day. Somewhere, some point, he is thinking about you still. Remembering that time when y'all class went to the zoo. Y'all probably packed a lunch, but y'all had to go eat in the little picnic area later on. and y'all got on the little haunted house thing, the little scrapes and the little kisses, he still remember that fondly. You provided a service, and there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. As a matter of fact, be proud of it. Somebody somewhere, no matter what, you know that somebody somewhere is thinking about you every once in a while with a little smile in their heart. Don't let them fat shame you. Don't let them fat shame you. And Jerica, you was fast too, because you even brought up that you loved it because you would get on, you loved something because you would get on that with a boy that you liked. If you didn't get on a ride with a boy that you liked just because you liked him. You got on with a boy that you liked so you could give up some scrapes. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. It's natural. It's natural. Y'all, I got to get ready to get out of here. I guess until next time, let me go get this stuff. No, I'm probably not, but I'll definitely let y'all know. When I put the little thing together. Maybe I'll take pictures of it throughout the process so y'all can see me turn a cabinet into an exposure unit. I have to start documenting this stuff. I might record it. But all right, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Now, David, you don't even got to worry about it. I went through and I did all the settings. The settings wasn't right yesterday because I had to shut everything down at some point. So I went through and I checked all the settings. The settings are right now. So I appreciate y'all joining me, hanging out with me. Enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to set your clock. I don't remember if it's we're going in the spring, so set your clock ahead. You do not, no matter what they tell you, you do not lose an hour of sleep. You do not lose an hour of sleep. Just carry your ass to bed. You'll be all right. That's it. You lose an hour of sleep. Get your 8 hours or 9 hours or 6 hours or however many hours you normally get. And don't use as an excuse to be late. I forgot to set my clock ahead. Don't use that as an excuse to be late. Nobody falls for that now because everybody know that everybody use their phone as their alarm clock, and we all know that your phone is going to automatically set. That is not a valid excuse in 2022. All right? Don't use it. When you use it, people look at you like, it's a lying ass. That's what they think in their head. Yeah, he was late with a lying ass. He was just late. Just suck it up. Oh, I was late. My bad. I forgot to set my clock ahead. But you only 12 minutes late. You would be an hour late. You only 12 minutes late. That's not because you forgot to set your clock ahead. That's just because you was late. So don't use that as an excuse. It's not a valid excuse, okay? Not a valid excuse. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yo, Underwood says, I bet Nikki gave up scrapes too. I don't know. But I would imagine the overwhelming majority of people, the girls, women watching, they gave up scrapes. It's a natural thing to do. All right. Until next time, it's been an afternoon experience. I'm out, y'all. Peace.